Hello, everyone. This is Grace. It is August the 28th, 2020, and we are continuing our prophetic reading of Ezekiel. We're in chapter 2. And if you recall, in chapter 1, Yahushua had approached Ezekiel, and Ezekiel had fallen on his face. Had fallen, and Yahushua was just about to speak to him. And he said unto me, Son of man, stand upon thy feet, and I will speak unto thee. Son of man, by the way, it's like saying man is mortal. By definition, a man is appointed to die. And so by saying son of man, he's calling him a mortal. He's reminding him that his life is indefinite. If you look in Romans 8, it will tell you, we're going to go there. Hold on. Romans 8. Actually, I don't know what verse to look at. But I think it's down at the bottom somewhere, where it says sons of God. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. If so be that the Spirit of God dwell in you. Now if any man have not the Spirit of Christ, he is none of his. And Christ be in you. The body is dead because of sin, but the Spirit of life is life because of righteousness. Where is it? Hold on. Oh, here it is. For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. So they will be resurrected. And then you have the 144,000, which is a man that doesn't die. The sons of God follow Christ, and they will be raised. So they can be the Son of Man too. And Yahushua called himself the Son of Man because he was appointed to die. Now, he didn't sin and die, but nevertheless, he knew that he was going to die. That's the only reason. That's the only thing I can figure. Because when you see the Son of Man, you see the son of the daughters of men, the children of men, I think it says in Daniel. I'm not going to go there and check. I don't remember exactly. But I think it says the children of men in Daniel. Usually, almost always, they're under some sort of conviction. It'll tell you that, like in Ezekiel, the entire book almost, the entire first part of it certainly, they're going through tribulation, and he's just reminding him, okay, look, this life that you live is indefinite. It has an end to it. So and he's just reminding him of that. And he said unto me, Son of man, stand upon thy feet, and I will speak unto thee. And the Spirit entered into me when he spoke unto me, and set me upon my feet. And I heard him that spake unto me. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that hath rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day. So he's sending him to the children of Israel. Let's read on and see what's going on. For they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord. So we know from our studies in Revelation that during this time they don't have the Bible. So the Lord, true to his word, he's going to tell them what's going to happen. But he's going to use... Okay, you know something? Remember, and I think it was in Revelation 10, I was saying that you do have to accept the calling. There's no calling here. He's just appointing Ezekiel to go out and give the word of God. And he's saying, I'm sending you to the children of Israel. So I take it back. But he's going to be a watchman. He's going to go and say, Thus saith the Lord God. He's speaking for the God, and he's going to warn them that judgment is coming. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house. Yet shall they, yet shall know that there has been a prophet among them. Okay, so this is a peculiar statement, and in that throughout the book of Ezekiel, he says, yet shall they know that I am the Lord. So even after, it looks like even after the captivity, they're still denying God because they're denying his prophet. He shouldn't have had to say this, but he's saying, okay, they deny that I'm God and will not honor me. Well, they're not going to honor you either. But we know they're going to just, well, we know that, but I mean, logically speaking, that's what I'm thinking of. Anyway, and now, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words, though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions. Scorpions are the enemies of God's people. They persecute God's people. Do you remember Solomon's son? What was it? Rehoboam? I can't remember his son's name. But he was over all 12 kingdoms at first. But the people came to him and they asked him to be more lenient on them because they asked him, to be more lenient. And he said, my father persecuted you. My father ruled you with whips or something like that. But I will rule you with scorpions. So scorpions is just another way of saying that they're going to either persecute, they're the enemies of God, they're going to persecute or oppress the people. Okay? And we kind of know what briars and thorns are. And thou dost dwell among scorpions. Be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. I can't understand. This book is so short. It's only 10 verses. I can't understand why it was separate. It's separated from the first chapter and the third chapter. It's only 10 verses. It's so short. Let me think about that for a second. I'm going to pause you. Hold on. I'll have to think about that later after I finish the video. Since we have a lot of books to do, it's not like I can't go back and tell you. Oh, as a matter of fact, speaking of going back, in chapter 1, when we spoke about Yahushua, as a matter of fact, I'm not going to go back. I'm just going to tell you. When we spoke about him, I remembered looking up how he was, it says the appearance of a man above it. The above, I don't know if it's this one or another one, but when I was looking it up, I looked up the word above, and the word above for Yahushua means that he is above, as in the hat is above his head, or the shelf is above the refrigerator or something like that. In Ezekiel 10, the above has a second word attached to it, a second number, indicating that it's part of, like your head is above your feet, or it's attached to. So if you want to jump ahead and look at that, certainly you can, but I'm not going to because I know I have to go over it in chapter 10 anyway. So we'll look at it then. Anyway, let's continue. And thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious. But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious, like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. So he's going to speak his words into them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious. Okay, he's telling him that, I'm not sure, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. Don't take it personally. That's what he's trying to tell them there. It's okay. Don't take it personally if they won't listen, because they are rebellious. But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. But you hear, be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. Okay, that's what I see. Okay. And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, because we're applying this to our life. Remember, that's the purpose of reading this. We're applying it to our life and to the last day saints. Maybe not us, but the last day events. And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein, and he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. Okay. Now we know that this book is the same book as in Revelation 5. It's the book of, well, it's, I don't know if it's the book of life, but it's the book, a roll of a book was therein, and he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. So why would he show him the entire book? To see everything. Because it's the end. Because it's the end times. Okay, so this is different than when we looked at the other examples of when someone was called to prophesy. Besides the fact that he wasn't called, he's assigned. But he allows him to read the book even before he consumed it. And because it's got to be because it's the end times, because this is the end. So you see what's going to happen, and so we know everything at this point. I guess that's the way it looks. Okay, because why would, like everyone knows in an army, you don't tell the entire plan. You don't tell the plan. I mean, it could be part of it, but it just doesn't seem that way. It seems like he's allowing him to see the book, the same one in Revelation 5 that has the history of man from the beginning until the end. And there's no indication that a question is asked, or there may be something in Ezekiel 3, but in it he saw the lamentations, mourning, and woe. He sees all the last day events. We, of course, are going to have that knowledge. Maybe that is an indication that, I'm not sure what that would indicate, other than we would have the knowledge of the last day events during this time. We're going to know what's going to happen. It'll be lost, of course. We know during the 70 years, everything's going to be lost and it'll have to come back. But I think that this is indicating that during the last days, we will know what's going to happen to the 11th hour saints. Okay, I'm going to try and ponder about why this is its own book. It seems kind of peculiar to me that this would not have just been tacked on to the end of chapter 1 or at the beginning of chapter 3. Because, look, it even starts in the middle. And he said unto me, that's a very strange place to start a book. And he said unto me, well, you got to go back to the first chapter. Anyway, I'll think about it. If you have any questions or if you have a comment about that, why you think it would be divided like this, look, I know that the chapters and the verses don't matter. I know that. But at the same time, I do believe it is inspired. And so I just thought it was peculiar. I think it is peculiar. So if you have any questions or comments, just leave them below, and I will get back with you if I'm able to help or if I'm needed. Thank you in advance. Bye.